Every election is different. Every election is an opportunity for people to make a choice of who will lead them. And in Nigeria, every 4 years, people are given that opportunity to make a choice. We are once set on the path of making that one all-important choice. On the 25th of February 2023, Nigerians will head to the ballot, to the polls, and they will vote for who the next president of Nigeria will be. Who will it become? Hi, welcome to my podcast. I am Chioma Vic Chukwemeka, also known as Oma Sweetheart on radio and TV. Welcome. So, it is a special podcast because it's a special episode. And this particular episode, we are looking at Nigeria Decide 2023. As at the time of doing this particular podcast, it is 21st of February 2023. It is actually 4 days to the election. The election will be on the 25th of February 2023 all over Nigeria, and Nigerians will be given the opportunity to choose who their leader will become. We all know that there are several political parties, and of course, every Nigerian has got a political inclination, political leanings, but there are major contenders in this particular election. We look at APC, that is fielding Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We look at PDP, that is fielding Atiku Abubakar. We also look at Labour Party, that is fielding Peter Obi. Then we also have the NNPP, that is fielding Rabiu Kwankwaso. And these are the major contenders. Let's call them the 4 major contenders. There are other political parties and political gladiators that are gunning for the seat, the number 1 seat, for the number 1 person in Nigeria. Who will the president be? Now, running up to this election, there's been a lot of challenges, crises, the Naira crunch that is devastating the economy, that is devastating the nation. A lot of people have been sent home because they don't have cash to trade. A lot of petty traders are affected. And then again, you have the fuel scarcity. People, as at December 2022, November 2022, fuel sold at 200 and something. And before you knew it, January, February, fuel sells at 500 naira per litre, and people are still buying. And when you come to the southeast of Nigeria, it has its own fair share of challenges. On Sunday, just Sunday, that's 2 days ago, the police station at 33 Junction was attacked by unknown gunmen, non-state actors. But of course, there were victims. Yes, there were victims, but the culprits were gunned down with the help of the Nigerian army. They worked in hand with the police, with the Nigerian police, and they gunned down the non-state actors. And of course, we also heard that the Awada police station was also attacked. And of course, there are rumors here and there, fake stories, fake news here and there circulating all over the social media platforms, all over the social space. And of course, people are being advised to shun fake news, misinformation and disinformation. There's been a whole lot of confusion here and there. Over the course of last week, we had directives and counter directives. All of a sudden, one of the most respected online newspaper in Nigeria, published that people can now go and deposit their old 1,000 naira, old 500 naira at the money deposit banks. Just few minutes after that release, the Central Bank of Nigeria came up with another directive that the money deposit banks are not allowed to receive money, that their monies, people's monies, will only be received at the Central Bank of Nigeria. Confusion upon confusion upon confusion here and there. What and who do we follow? Of course, in covering this election, there are people that are targets. Security personnel, journalists. Who is a journalist? A journalist is that person that tells the story. And of course, the story is being told from different angles. A journalist tells you what is going on, tells you exactly how it happened, tells you what to expect. The media is the fourth realm of any nation. They are the ones that expose things that are happening in the country. And the media, the journalists, is needed to cover every election. Of course, as a journalist myself, I've gone through a lot of trainings, and in these trainings, one of the things they tell me is that no story is worth my life. The same way I'm putting it out there, as a journalist who will listen to this podcast, remember that no story is worth your life. I met with a lot of field journalists, and I questioned them on how a journalist can play safe for this forthcoming election. How a journalist can live to tell the story without another person telling his or her story. And they had quite amazing insight. An insight I will be more glad to share with every one of you. Now listen to their voices and you definitely make something out of what they've said. Stay here and I'll return at the other side of it.
My baby, oh my sweet at the radio.
Well, I think there are safety measures that some journalists should employ while observing this election. First of all, everyone, not just journalists, needs to be security conscious, especially looking at what is happening, especially in this southeast. Yes, you are there to get information, to report to be on ground to report whatever that is happening. But it's always good that you also take precautionary measures. Be sure that where you are is safe. Because some of the places you are going to observe, you may not know the landmarks very well. So what is there is that you just play your own, stay by the side. When you have come to any polling unit or whatever, introduce yourself to the P or whatever, the SPO or maybe the security agents there, so they will tell them who you are even before taking shots or taking pictures or whatever, interviewing anybody. Introduce yourself properly. It is also possible that if we as journalists, if you have register with INEC, whatever, there are these kits that you are being given. It's also good that you go with your media kits. But where do you think that you are sensing danger, or you think that as a journalist that your life will be at stake, then you can remove such kits or whatever, such ID card. So you must also be equipped with your working, your organizational ID card and the rest. So in that way, but whatever you hear, maybe there's anything security breach, the first thing is for you to be secure again is for you to run for your life. Because if you don't run to save your life, you won't live to tell the story. If you die, who will not tell the story? So your life and everything is still paramount. So that's the thing.
I cannot die for politicians because they are all the same. You see, like if you go to my community WhatsApp, our youth some are supporting Ekwunife, some are supporting Dozie Nwankwo. Why, if you go to the occasion now, you might see Dozie Nwankwo and Ekwunife eating and drinking wine together. So everybody, especially journalists, has to be careful in this election. Don't report. If you go to the field, be careful. When you see what is happening there and you don't understand it, just quietly leave. That is my advice.
By being safe ourselves, we have to be safe in the field. By virtue of the dressing you put on that day, you shouldn't put a dressing that would portray you as a cultist. Then you have to be well, kitted with the INEC accreditation tag. Then you should make sure too that your identity is well represented there. Maybe your ID card, everything for which you can be identified with. And of course, you pray over it. Whenever you see people shooting guns or anything of sort, you have to take cover in order to live again and report tomorrow. Thank you.
I think that the best way for a journalist to play safe during the upcoming election, general election, first is to be guided with the principles of reporting. Then ensure that they have identification mark so that if anything, and also have the number, the emergency number, in case if anything comes up that he or she will not be able to handle it immediately, you can dial out the free toll on your phone. Then again, people should learn how to report in safety, not trying to put themselves inside the hot water because you want to claim that you're a great reporter. You stand by the side to report, to leave to report the next day. That playing safe is just the key word.
A lot of things, but I think one thing is to be ethically bound. That will guide a journalist a lot. Because I remember sometimes in 2014, the 2015 general election, something of that nature happened to us when we went to a particular location to cover the House of Assembly election. When we got to the place, we saw that they destroyed a lot of vehicles. Instead of asking questions, we started videoing the place and snapping pictures. Before you know it, a particular person, a lady from the people, we don't know that they have already grouped themselves to even kill us. So it was the girl that identified one of us and now called the girl by name, saying that she was her classmate in secondary school. That was why she called her by name to know whether she's the classmate or not. And the girl now with us answered, responded back. That was how she now kept quiet. I knew that these people, that she knew one of us. She called us and told us to delete everything. We have to delete everything before they now took us to somewhere to see the candidate in question who was responsible for the destruction. They destroyed so many vehicles belonging to even a media house. And that day we discovered that the place was so hostile that nobody was able to speak to us. Even the INEC official could not speak to us. So I think the safety net there is that when a journalist is going for this place, one is that you should know that even the INEC listed it that you don't snap picture of anybody, don't take picture or video of anybody that did not grant you the consent. So you should know where to snap and where not to snap. You should always look very well. If possible, you hide your camera in a way. There is a way you can put your phone and snap. You can be doing it as if you are making phone call or whatever way, because it will save you. Because the people you are snapping, they may be doing good thing but still afraid. So snapping them can put you into trouble. That is number one thing, being safety, to know how to handle your phone, your camera. If you get to a place where you are even making a call and you get to a security point, you're supposed to stop it, stop making that call. You can end your call because you don't know what is happening. Some police officers there may not even care to know that you are a journalist. We have been to a place that was a day just like that, one election, either 2019 or so, when a police commissioner that was sent, they stop us thinking that we are armed robbers during the election. We came out with our camera. He saw us and said, immediately we saw him, we identified him by his name. Say, Commissioner, hey, Honorable Commissioner. He said, okay, are you journalists? We say yes, and we go. So you should be able to keep quiet. When you get to a place, if they ask you a question, don't get angry because you are wearing this thing. Some police officers don't even care. They don't even have the knowledge of what is written on your tag. So you should be able to identify yourself. If they ask you a question, even if the person is asking you quietly or not, answer the person politely. That is the best way to save yourself before they will shoot at you. If you are carrying a vehicle that is branded, you should know the area to go with a branded vehicle or not. It's not even proper to go with a branded vehicle now. But if you are going, know the specific place you go to. There's no need mentioning them, but something like some places in Anambra South. But even in Anambra Central, there are places that you must not go with a branded vehicle. So when you get to any place like that, identify yourself politely. Don't get angry with anybody during the election. If the INEC officer or anybody tells you to go out, just go out quietly and they now explain before you go in. That is the only way to save yourself. That is it. The another way again is to know, just like I said before, the area to go or not. You can collect your data by even registering on INEC portal, INEC Get portal, where everybody, all the electoral officers and so on, where they report, they upload their report. You can go there and access your report instead of going to a place that you don't even know what is happening there. You can decide to just register online, access your data. Where you cannot go, don't go. Where you can trek to. Where you cannot trek to. That is just it. Thank you very much.
You have to be very agile and have to be very careful and know where we are going to, and don't ever go anywhere alone. You go as a team, because as we can see that security is still a big challenge in this country. So first of all, we need to be security conscious wherever you are going to. Make sure you are going with your team and be very careful wherever you are.
Partisan, that is just what I'm trying to say. And even if you have your friends or relatives who are in contest. It's not your business as a journalist is to cover the elections, not to begin to help or any other person to win. You don't whip up sentiments. You don't report the results. It's not your duty to announce the results. You don't put yourself in a situation where you will be at risk. Try as much as possible to play safe. That's the best way to go about it.
Wow! Doing this particular story gladdened my heart because I had to listen to my colleagues talk. I had to listen to field journalists who have covered different elections at different periods of time talk and share their experiences on how a journalist can remain safe. Most importantly, no story is worth your life as a journalist. You need to be alive to tell your story. Don't allow any person to tell your story. You should be there to tell your story by yourself. And of course, tag along. All the respondents, you hear them saying tag along, and don't venture into a place that you are not sure of. It's really important. If you're going to get into a place, ensure that it's where you are conversant with. Tag along, don't move alone. And I'd like to add this. As a journalist, if you're a lady, learn how to wear the jeans. Yes, wear your jeans, put on your jeans as a lady. As a guy, yes, of course, put on your jeans and get your sneakers on. Get your canvas on. Why? Because it will make you comfortable. If you need to run, you're running. If there is something, if the environment seems unfriendly, if you're noticing violence in the environment, please take cover. If you're ever going to use your camera, please take cover as you're doing that. Maybe after this, like I said, this is an episode. This is a special episode because we are chronicling the journey of Nigerians to 25th of February. All right, it's 4 days to the election, and we'll try as much as possible to drop podcasts every day. So look forward to another podcast tomorrow on this Nigeria Decides 2023. And maybe after now, I will share with you an experience I've had as a journalist covering a violent situation, covering a protest situation. It's one experience, oh my goodness, you surely want to hear, and I know you look forward to it. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. From me to every one of you out there, I wish you all safety. I wish myself safety, and I wish you all safety. We'll all live to tell the story. And to all Nigerians out there, as we all go to the ballot box on 25th of February to cast our votes, we pray that indeed our votes will count. I have been Oma, your very sweet on Radio Choma Vic Chukwemeka. Thank you so much for joining me. And of course, let me know your thoughts. Share with us what a journalist can do to remain safe as a journalist covers this election. I look forward to your thoughts. I love you. Mwah! God bless Nigeria.